So I primarily began with a rock, blues, and jazz kind of background. Playing a lot of electric guitar and this kind of things, and in a few kind of bands in high school. And at the age of 17, I officially began classical guitar, and that was after especially seeing a few videos on YouTube of John Williams, Segovia, Bream. What stands out was absolutely the video of John Williams playing Asturias and how it sounded like two instruments, and that was incredibly inspiring to me. And I guess I thought it was, beyond the limits of playing with a plectrum, the ability to play more than one voice at once, polyphonically and everything. That was really incredible, and I just dove into this this field of guitar playing and never looked back. Yeah, there's been in the recent maybe 20 years or so, I have to say Tim Kane, my teacher, former teacher, he has a number of students who have gone on to be successful players and teachers, and I think I guess through him mostly there's been a big surge in young guitarists, and also now there's actually an incredible number of great young players who have come out of his school, also who are living in Europe now and scattered all around the world, and also some still in Australia. So I've been in Germany for just over 3 years, and I was in Koblenz at the academy there for several months before moving to Cologne, and I'm currently there now studying at the Musikhochschule. And I think what Hubert Keppel, as my teacher, he really helped me as a performer develop professionalism and I guess many ways to create an atmosphere as a performer. I think primarily I just perform what I want to play, and what I enjoy performing. And so I certainly enjoy and have an affinity for Baroque music, so I always like incorporating Scarlatti, Bach or Telemann or something in my program. And in recent times I'm decided that I should really include Australian music in my concert repertoire, especially when I'm playing concerts in Europe so often, and where such composers as Houghton, Sculthorpe, Westlake aren't heard at all in Europe, really. So I really enjoy incorporating or including Australian repertoire. And also recently I've begun including, well, actually I've done for quite a while, been playing some South American music, in particular Brazilian music. It's always, actually, I have to say, it's always resonated with me in some way. It's always touched me, in some respect. And yeah, I think of the great Brazilian guitarists, Baden Powell, Rafael Rabelo. Always really enjoyed not only the pieces and the compositions, but also the manner in which they play. And I think it's always quite refreshing for an audience member to hear this kind of music amongst some relatively standard repertoire or standard, hardline mainstream classical, music. So I certainly don't want to be just a guitarist who kind of plays competitions and, you know, is a product of that circle. But I mean, there's certainly a lot of appeal in competitions in terms of what they can do for you as a, you know, in terms of your career. And when competitions go your way, they can lead to concerts, and that's essentially what I want to be doing. I always feel like I've discovered kind of the secret, and then I don't, you know, like I always feel sometimes that, okay, I've worked out how I function in terms of how to prepare, you know, because once it worked, and then the next performance you do the same thing but it doesn't work. Actually, I think a lot of it is a psychological battle. And I've been reading, I think for the second time now, the In a Game of Music, the book. And it's been, I sort of realized new things about it, and new things about kind of how one should be thinking, you know, leading up to these kind of stressful situations. And actually one thing it talks about is how the more you strive for something, the more you try, actually, the less often it actually works. And it's something about having the trust in your own ability and being able to let go, actually, and be at peace with imperfection and happy with, I guess, happy with what happens, even if it's, you know, not your best performance. It's something kind of you have to live with.